now, but this is the Knitting Samurai and Her Guys video podcast, and I'm your host, Steph, and this is episode 176. Hello, how are you doing? I'm a little confused with the camera setup, so I keep looking over there, but I should be looking right here if I'm going to look right at you, deep into your soul. Hi. So I'm jealous of all the girls with the top knots, right? It's very stylish right now, and my hair is too short, obviously, so I did like a half top knot thing for you. And you know, lots of people don't like their hair. I'm not really a fan of mine, of course. It's wavy, curly if it's short, but wavy otherwise. But I will tell you one thing that my hair is extremely good at: holding curl. So I just flipped the ends a little bit for you. I need a haircut. I'm getting a haircut on next Friday. Next Friday. Toes this Friday. Haircut next Friday, because I spread out my activities. But this is not a show about my planning. Although I could talk about my planning. I mean, I go to swim on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I go to the aerobic swim, and then I'm starting to go Tuesday and Thursday just because being in the water feels so good and it energizes me. And this is awesome because I love the pool, right? I grew up with a pool. I thought I was the Little Mermaid. I would spend all my time in the pool in the summers growing up. But what was I going to say about the pool? Oh, yes, it burns more calories than walking. I know, isn't that exciting? Like, I put in 15 minutes of walking for me, and it was like 280 calories. And then this is MyFitnessPal, their app. I love their app. I've lost lots of weight with their app. I've gained lots of weight and I've lost lots of weight. But their app is very helpful for tracking your water, your daily calories, and you can set it so that it pays attention to your phone and based on the GPS of your phone and the distance that you've walked. So it counts your calories that way. But swimming was like 380, so it was an extra 100 calories. So, bonus, because I have never liked working out. Ever. Never liked sports, never liked any of that stuff. So I'm trying to raise two boys that like to get outside and play. Roland really likes soccer a lot, and we play that 2 nights a week. So I'm hoping he'll just carry that through his life, that love of soccer. So what else do I have to tell you? I think that's it. So let's talk about knitting. I have not knit very much, I have to say, but am I shaking you? That's not possible. We are currently sitting in the kitchen. There's the front door wide open with lots of light, and there are the windows. I should probably close them, huh? I wonder, would that make a difference? Would it make it better? If I close that one, does it make it easier on your eyes? I think it does. So I think we'll have that window closed. Okay. So anyways, the living room's behind me, and we're at the bar in the kitchen. When we remodeled the house, I thought of this bar as my command station, and it totally is. The only thing I would have done different if I could was put the sink in it, but that would have required a lot of moving of pipes and such that we were not going to do. My mom's texting me. If you're wondering, she says hugs XXX. They are due to be home for Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to her and me. They've been on the road for the last 3 months. 3 months, yes. I've been watching their house. I go over once a week, check on everything. Their mail comes here. So it's not any work for me to keep track of them, but I miss them. I miss them. And last time they were gone, I knit my mom a pair of socks. And this time, did I knit her socks? I started a colorwork cowl for her, which I could totally finish by the time they get home. But it's summer. It's not really the season for that. So her birthday's in December, so maybe I'll make it for a birthday present instead. I actually, since we're talking about planning of tasks, that front door, right? That's bright. Well, I'll just think of it as like a halo on my shoulders. Oh! Summer's coming, and with summer comes Dash Dash, because everybody, well, I assume everybody who watches me watches the Knit Girls. So if you don't, you should. They're super fun to watch, super informative, and they just reviewed my products. I'm so excited. That's very thrilling. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so I've started planning, and I'm not going to finish anything anymore, and which is good because I'm knitting a lot of socks, and like the Barocco sock pair that I'm going to show you with Roland. I actually already showed it to you this morning, but I'll put in the clip later. Maybe I'll put it in right here. Okay, here are these
hello,
socks.
my name's Mr. Meeseeks.
Okay, what is Mr. What do you say when you're Mr. Meeseeks?
He's dead.
So we are waiting for the bus, and since these socks only live in the car, I thought it was a good time to share them with you. And of course I started a row. These are some Barocco sock. Look how the sun is really washing them out. Let's see, get a better view of the color. And this is a sock yarn that I bought once, and I didn't knit it in a couple years, and so I destashed it. I can't get the label to show you. Barocco sock right there. Color 1425. So I destashed it, and then I still love the color, and I still wanted to knit with it. So like 3 years later, I bought it again. So here they are, 2x2 rib. I've got my, since I'm using them at soccer, I've got my soccer mom progress keeper on it. So that's yesterday's progress, just a little bit of card knitting. And he's totally distracting you, isn't he? Yes, he is. All right, do you want to talk a little bit? Do you have something to say? All right, I'm knitting.
Do you know me or do you not? I don't know. I think so, you know me.
Roland, don't talk for a second.
Okay.
All
Wait,
right.
I just talked.
All right, I was just letting that truck go by because they're, oh, here comes the bus.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, welcome back. So the things I didn't tell you about that is those are size 0 needles because I have to knit with super small needles. If I just do socks, for some reason my gauge is pretty loose these days. Or I've just evolved into 0 needles. I think that's it. I like a firmer sock fabric. Anyways, so they're on 0 needles, and it's just a 2x2 rib on the top of the sock. It's my basic sock that I knit. But instead of doing my favorite Wendy Johnson heel, which is it's a gusseted, yeah, side gusset heel that's a cup. It fits perfect. Mwah! Instead of doing that, I'm planning to I've put in the marker and I'm going past, and I'm going to do an afterthought heel. So I can, because I tried knitting the partying up and getting down socks at soccer practice last week, and I couldn't keep up with where I was. There are literally 1, 2, 3, 4 points where you do something. The whole back side is the bottom of the foot. It's stockinette. Like, I still couldn't pay attention enough to do that, so I needed to have a super plain sock with me. So my thought is I can just knit that tube, knit a second tube, and then during stash dash I'll slap some heels in there. So they're gonna be gift socks, so that'll be great to have those done. I'm actually, I think I mentioned my mother-in-law last time. I'm on a mission to knit her maroon socks for some reason. So her birthday is this weekend, but we're not gonna see her, but I am gonna send her a package. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking that I finished these socks that were for her, and so I really could send them to her for her mother's birthday. That's what we call it, because her birthday is like the 11th or 12th, and it always falls right around. I think it's the 11th. It's on my calendar. I don't have to remember these things. I have calendars to keep track of them. But yes, I did finish these socks for her, stuck in a heel I had shown you last weekend. So there they are, matchy matchy. I love them. Knit Picks Felici is the blue striping color yarn, and then the maroon is a Regia. And so it's just a lot of squares. So that kind of, I interpreted someone else's design to come up with this. So I'm sure if you put in stripes and squares on Ravelry or something, I don't think that's what she calls it. I think she calls it like shadow something. You could find the pattern, but I'm not going to do show notes unless you feel like you're missing them in your life. I really don't think anybody looks at them, so I'm not going to do them. My Ravelry pages are updated. Yeah, I'm going to call that good. Unless I have something important to say, no show notes. So these are done off my needles. So, but I kind of wish I had saved them because I could have done the heels and counted it. Iced coffee, iced coffee. Stephanie runs on iced coffee for sure. The hat, the little stockinette hat I was working on, all done. It's kind of pointed and I ran out of yarn somewhere here. Yeah, you can see how I had to stripe in a gray. But I think that's okay because the yarn itself is black and pink marled, so it's cute. It's gonna go in the gift box for a someday baby. Not a me baby, someday baby for someone else. Yeah. So let's see, what else do I have to show you? The socks I am currently working on in my front range bag. So I had shown these before, I think. It's that same pattern of squares with a dot and then stripes on the bottom. This is Patton's Croy in 2 different colors. Yep. Yep. Maybe this is, yep. Patton's Croy sock. This color, the loud color. Oh no, the brown is called Flax. So the loud color, remember I didn't have the tag, right? It was something I found in my stash. So wasn't a fan of this section right here because you can't see the color work. Well, you can on the camera, but in real life you can't. And what's the point of color work if you can't see it? So, and also the stripe sequence, it's like they were big, 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 small, big, small. And so we got this weird line of blue in there. But as I said, I'm gonna give these away probably to my father-in-law just so I don't have to look at them that often. And also I think it's kind of cute to knit the matching socks. So for that purpose, maybe I'll hold on to hers till Christmas. She doesn't care. She's just happy with anything. So the second sock in progress, I decided to skip to do a little color management, and I cut out that mustard section I was not so wild about. Let's see, and I just used a little bit more teal. Oh wow, they're pretty close. Yeah, I thought, wow, that's kind of amazing to my eye. So I just have to finish one more set of squares and then do the ribbing. I have placement from both Afterthought heels. I was working on this during the Kentucky Derby. We watched it. It's there's lots you could say about horse racing, right? And animal rights and whatever, but it is a interesting event to watch. As a spectator, how about that? It's interesting to watch, but I would never support it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, yeah, so I was working on this during that, and I've got my Enterprise on here, available at Adorknits, adorknit at etsy.com. So there's that one, and this is how much of the gray I have left. So it's awesome because, you know, you take 2 skeins, there's that one. That's what I have. 2 single skeins, put them together. It looks so cute. I think it's fun to knit. But I will say my first pair came out beautiful. My second pair came out pretty darn good too, if you ask me. My first pair was pink with this blue. Third pair is not so pretty. So we'll see if I do another pair after that. But I do enjoy it, and I knit them on size 3s on the front and size 1s on the back. Because the way I do it, you have to go more times around in the back than you do in the front, and the color work in the front. And you want the bottom to be a little bit thicker, denser fabric, so use the size 1s. So those socks really do fly right along. The next thing I'm going to share with you, so I've been knitting a lot of socks, right? That's what you're seeing from me. And it's just, they're so easy and so portable right now, and that's where my head is. So I was a sock knitter. I turned into a knit everything else, not interested in socks, and now I'm back to socks. So partying up and getting down sock. First one's done. I can't remember if it was last time, but there's my, look at how pretty that is going up. That's my up sock. Now I'm working on my down sock. I never knit cuff down socks, ever. And these are knit on size, I'm gonna say 1s. I'm making it up. Feels like a 1, maybe it's a 2. I think it's a 1 though. I wanted to have extra give in the fabric. And I'm using, this is some Opal. Use public transportation. So right? Yeah, use public transportation, save the city is the name of that colorway. Don't you love opal? I love opal. Love it, love it, love it. I heard a rumor that it's not going to be sold in the US anymore from my LYS. I know. I probably have 20 skeins in my stash. Is that enough? I figure with these stashes, I don't need to go crazy. Like, it'll still be available for a couple years, but gosh, that new, or it's new to my eye, the energy line is so pretty. Anyways, okay, my partying up sock. Here we go. No, my partying down sock is loaded with stitch markers. We were at the Children's Museum, school vacation week. Week ago? 2 weeks ago? Since I saw you last. And a very friendly lady in the children's kitchen, because it has like play areas. So the kids were cooking. Her daughter was playing with my 2 sons. And Tristan was very interested in being her waiter and talking to her. And so the lady and I started talking too. And she looked at me knitting and was like, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm knitting, you know. And she said, but what are those charms on it? What's that decoration? What are you doing with that? I said, oh, that just tells me where I am and what I need to do. I felt a little silly trying to explain a progress keeper to a muggle. Like, well, it makes me feel like I'm knitting a lot faster. So this is this way, getting down. Look how pretty they are. I made sure to start them at pretty close to the same spot. The first one I ended with that little blip of purple right there. So when I cast on, I actually ended up casting on more purple, but I wasn't gonna go back. It's close enough for me. So there they go. Oh, look how cool. I haven't seen them together like that. It's like a V. Oh, so these are by the most excellent Megan Williams of Stockinette Zombie fame. This is her pattern that I was so thrilled to be finally knitting. And this yarn I just purchased, this new yarn, because I got motivated by the Instagram feeds. You know how it goes. So the next thing I'm going to show you, let's see, I keep knitting or show you something from the shop. I think I'm just going to stick in a little bit from the shop right here. So it's summertime and my shop is fully loaded with progress keepers and stitch marker goodies out there. So I'm going to show you this one, which is a summer themed one. Here we go. So this is red, white, and blue, and you can see the USA progress keeper and the country stitch marker. So I just really love them. I don't, these are for sure stores, this card. I don't ship on these cards, but I figured it would be much easier to show them to you this way. So, and these are silver plated rings, and these fit needle sizes 3 to 6. So there's that. It's in the shop right now. And then these are brand new. I just listed them yesterday. So I felt like, hi, pulling in my stool. I felt like I was missing something with sock knitting, since I've been doing more of it and more and more and more lately. And so I wanted some really small, snug fitting rings. And so I give you these, which are, they fit like 0s and 1s, like nothing bigger than a 1. So they're definitely for socks. Maybe I need to put, because you're probably not going to have a sock pattern that needs 12 stitch markers, which is what my sets include, generally. 10 or 12, it depends. So I think that, no, colored rings are 10s. Yep, silver rings are 12s. So I think maybe I'll start selling them as 4s. But you could see the little sock. Isn't he so cute? I'm in love. I'm in love. And then the beginning of the round marker. Wait, I'm getting a message. The beginning of the round marker says made with love on it. And those are 2 shades of green beads with, 2 shades of green rings, like a chartreuse and a Kelly green, and then I want to call it apple green beads on it because they remind me of little apples. And the last thing I want to show you is right here. Here we go. Oh, don't mean to be flashing you, but this. So I also sell necklaces in the shop. So this is one with the extra small, so the 0 to 1 charms on it. So it's just a fun thing to wear, easy to carry. your stitch markers around with you without having to think about it. And I have 18 and 20 inch lengths, so depending on how long you want your necklace. So there's that. I'm sorry. I hope you don't mind that I throw a little bit of shop stuff in. I feel like I need to. I feel like I just have to, and I'm proud and I want to share. So I'm gonna probably have that as a segment from week to week. So be forewarned, I guess. The last thing, okay, so sock yarn blankets, right? I haven't worked on one in forever. Let me get the phone here because I don't know this off the top of my head. So when I was pregnant, or maybe when I was after pregnant, well, first I was pregnant. When I was pregnant with Tristan, I knit him this gorgeous barn raising quilt blanket, and that's by Shelly Mackey and Larissa Brown. And I knit it with Fiberworks Dye Works and Leading Men Fiber Arts and Opal Rainforest. And the Opal Rainforest was a teal green fleck, and I could probably bring up a picture too instead of describing it. And then the Fiber Nymph was this beautiful teal blanket. So I knit, let's see if this will work. I don't know if it will. Showing you a picture from my phone on here. It doesn't really do the color variation justice. His line is sitting on it. But I knit that for Tristan while I was pregnant. And the ends are still not woven in, and I use it to nap. And I'm fine with the ends not being woven in, and it's on me, it goes to like my knees, it covers my chest. It's a great summertime blanket. But I had started a second one that was scraps. And when I started it, I thought, okay, this is gonna be 80 something squares, and I'm gonna give myself 3 years. Well, it's been more than 3 years. Tristan's 4 years old, almost 4. And I don't really want to finish it right now. So I'm not working on that. But the blanket I have been working on, that I went crazy working on last December, is the Hexagon by Very Busy Monkey. And I don't know why it's called Polygon. Anyways, so I started on that, right? Sometime last fall. And this is the first piece I did. And I laid out all my colors, and I was going to go from pink reds to blue to teal. That was or green. That was my planned color progression. But it got kind of complicated with all the managing the reds and taking pictures and then making sure I put the right scrap in the right place. And it was less fun than I wanted it to be. Here, let me find an inner one to show you. But the hexagon shapes are great. They're easy. I have a few ends, but nowhere near as many as I had in Tristan's blanket, from seaming each square together and then seaming the rows of squares together, if that makes sense. So this is knit together as you go, which I'm going to show you my bigger one. So I did, shoot. I did a sock yarn swap, and this is me moving forward, accepting that I don't remember all the words for everything all the time. And that's fine. I did a swap this winter with, but I can't think of my swapper's name. I'm sorry. But she sent me a ton of gorgeous, it's coming. She's German. Volmisa. And I'm definitely planning to do it again. It was a advent swap, so we opened a different yarn every day, and I was trying to knit a square on every day. And when I made mine to swap, I made her a ball and me a ball of everything. And so at the end of 25 days, I actually had 50 skeins to put into this. I did not make it through all 50, because about December 20th, I was like, okay, I can't knit squares or hexagons every day. So I moved over, so I kind of chilled out. And yes, I do have one in progress, I'm sorry. But there are dozens and dozens of squares on this. And if I sit back, see Isn't it gonna be pretty? And it's those super saturated colors from Wollmeise that I love. I'm saying the right name, right? German? Twin, you know? Anyways, okay. And then I mixed in a bunch of whatever I had. I was trying, hers were mostly, the Wollmeises are mostly the solids. And then I had some, I'm a variegated girl, more than not. I'm trying to buy more solids, but like, when I think about the yarn I've bought this year, I bought like 6 skeins of opal, and then that's it. And then that fawn color. Like, I buy striped yarn because I love striped yarn. So there it is. So Stash Dash, I could get some serious yardage out of this. So right now it is about, if I start now, right, and I work on it, it goes to the tops of my thighs. So if I'm gonna make this napping size, which is like 6 feet by 4 feet, I'm probably a quarter of the way done. So I don't know, but I really love this blanket. Isn't it gorgeous? I love the hexagons instead of the mitered squares, which I do have a mitered square. 1 or 2? I have a blue one I was working on because I thought that was, I don't know, maybe it's with my older age. I've gotten to a point where telling everything what to do isn't really my scene anymore, and just accepting the variation, and that 2 colors may not look awesome together, but whatever. That's how it goes. And I think it makes a prettier blanket. Yeah. So, do I have anything else to tell you? I don't think so. Not planning to go anywhere. Was totally bummed to miss out on Maryland Sheep and Wool. I hope you had a great time if you went. Yeah. What else? That's it, I think. Yeah, so summer's fast approaching. It was like 65 degrees out, maybe 67. It was warm enough that in the sun I could take a nap, and I did. And you could see, look, I'm never outside, and I have a watch line. I bet I would under here because I always have these guys on, but I don't always have the watch on. But I have to put sunscreen on my face every day. Okay, now I'm just babbling and trying to fill space, and your time is more valuable than that. So enjoy what you're knitting, thinking about Stash Dash. I might cast on a cardigan for me, a gray cardigan. I don't remember. Do you want me to look? Is it worth it to you if I look? I knit it already. I knit it last year at this time. I may cast on, almost done, almost there, a Sandshore by Alicia Plummer, because I really love wearing that. And I would like one out of a less scratchy yarn. I used Briar Rose fibers for mine. That I actually got the yarn and knit the yarn. Got the yarn at Maryland Sheep and Wool last year and knit it in less than a month. Yeah, 25 days. 23 days. So, I don't know if you're like me, but now I'm very curious to see what the sweater looks like. So that's what, it looked like. So it's great. I love it. It's beautiful. It's not a next to skin soft sweater, and the style of it, it's 3/4 length sleeves. I want it to be a throw on, like this time of year, like throw on as an overcoat over short sleeves. Not a coat, but like just a light layer. And it's too itchy for me to do that. And it knits super fast. So I'm thinking I'm going to knit one out of acrylic. I know. But acrylic won't pill. I don't know though. I knit a sweater out of the Reynolds Review that, it's a discontinued yarn, but gosh, that I can wear that. Nothing but a bra, and that thing is so soft. I've never had a sweater that is that soft. But I'm just trying to think how much I have in the stash, because it did. Oh, you're gonna see a picture of Tristan too, and Roland's arm. But that's that. So I was in a knitting very loud sweater phase. You can see my hair is shaved at the back there. That's what I'm growing out from. Which loud sweaters are great, but right now I just want to blend in. So I think I'm gonna knit a gray sweater. A gray sweater because gray's my favorite color. Right now. Anyways, we'll see. Have you seen the Avengers movie? I'm dying to see it. All right. Have a great 10 days or so until I talk to you again. All right. Take care. And I will be back. Bye.